the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, basketball fans. I'm Ernie Johnson, welcoming you to 2K Sports. I'm here with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal.
2K Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the NBA.
A view from the skies above downtown San Antonio. We're pleased to welcome you to Texas tonight. It's NBA basketball on Alex Ended to David Aldridge, standing by from the sideline.
Well, guys,
And that's how Russ has always been, D.A., a high-motor player who leaves it all out on the floor. You have two teams that love to score out of the post, but they need enough space, Brent, to do it. What's the strategy here?
sometimes it's not just about the space, Kevin, but it's about the timing of the cuts. When a guy has a post-up opportunity, if the defense is looking at that post-up player, if you move at the right time, you can really create some incredible space for that guy, not only to score, but to sometimes find cutters who sneak behind the eyes of the defense.
We've got a chance here to set the floor, courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go for this one. So for Oklahoma City right now, at small forward and power forward, it's George and Patterson. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair, and it's Adams in at the center.
Gotta love the overall court awareness. Gasol always knows when there's a wide open teammate ready to shoot, and sometimes makes a dribble to set defenders up before delivering.
And Robertson kicks to Westbrook. Shot on the way. Score the basket, his second of two attempts.
And so many defenses nowadays really not designed to take away that mid-range jumper.
And I'm loving the recognition, right? He simply takes what the defense allows. That's a smart move.
Robertson dishes to Westbrook. And George kicks to Adams. No good. Good work defensively by Gasol. Leonard attack. Oh.
It looks like an orange in his hand, and Kawhi tenacious to the rim with that finish.
That was a terrific replay brought to you by Under Armour. Another Unleash Chaos moment. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's foul number 2 for him.
There are times where you have to play with a little bit more caution. That's already his second foul in the first quarter.
The Spurs making a switch here. Mills is checked in. Screen by Adams. Here's Robertson. Goes back up. And the layup is up and in. Robertson's got his first points of the game.
Robertson's activity down there and the long arms stretch out to help collect a second chance opportunity.
Oh, you hear that sound? That's the flushing of the toilet right there.
Greg, a fierce two-hander. Well, it was the Oklahoma City Thunder winning their last game against the Bulls.
And I felt like they came out of that with a terrific game plan, especially on the offensive end.
The defense seemed to be swirling and guessing about where the attack was coming from, inside, outside, and in transition.
And Mills kicks to Leonard. Spurs working the ball around now. Here's Aldridge. It's good. He makes his first shot of the game.
These guys are like dentists right now. 4 out of 5 recommending a made shot. They're in a great groove.
And the Spurs, Greg, one of the best defensive teams in the league for 2 seasons running.
And it's really all about execution. They seem to just move in concert and stay connected. No silly fouls. And with their length, nothing easy inside.
And the foul called on Pau Gasol. That is his first foul of the game. Rudy Gay's checked in for the Spurs. Green comes in for Manu Ginobili. And a switch here also for Oklahoma City. Felton's checked in. The Thunder with another miss.
I still love the shot selection. The defense wasn't really a factor. They need to be more aggressive guarding the mid-range.
And stolen by Patterson. And it goes out of bounds. Last touch by Felton. With a break in the action, let's go to the 2K leaderboard for a look at this season's stingiest defensive teams. In third, the Thunder.
I mean, terrific rim protection. I mean, they rotate and help on the inside as well as anybody. And, of course, you want to keep offenses on the outside shooting jump shots, and that continues to be the goal.
And got to admire how Gay sees the floor. Effortlessly shredding the D on that drive. Just a fantastic penetrator.
Back to Felton. Adams with the screen on Anderson. Felton kicks to McDermott. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Here's Abrines. And the 3 off target. Spurs leading by 4. Guys, they've been getting it done.
They came out with a mission, and they have been tough to stop.
Grant against Gay. Dishes it to McDermott. Their offense stone cold. Another miss there. Laverne with the ball. Now defended by McDermott. Took him no time at all on that one.
I love how Gay keeps the ball high, not allowing the defense to block it. His length really comes in handy.
And the foul called on Danny Green. That's his first foul. DeJounte Murray, he's checked in for the Spurs. 52 seconds left to play in the first quarter. They double him with Green. Grant the pass to Adams. Back to Grant. And he's good on the 3-ball. Grant's got himself going with the triple, his first basket of the game. Stolen away. Here's Abrines. He hasn't scored yet. That, I'm sure, will change. The 11-footer. No good off the back of the rim. 1 second separating the shot clock and game clock. And Laverne hits the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game.
And we've just seen them make mistakes on back-to-back trips. Both those turnovers could have been avoided.
Outside, Felton. Anderson with the block.
Good intensity on defense. Kyle Anderson using the length that time and timing it well to get the rejection.
He really takes off, just never looks back.
Yeah, by the time anyone even thinks of chasing him, he's gone.
And we reached the end of the first quarter. It's San Antonio. They're up by 5. And we'll be back shortly for the start of the second quarter. And power forward Patrick Patterson. Getting better.
I think my 3 years at Kentucky, caused.
Patterson Clark, exactly the guy he says he is, and that's why he's one of those glue guys you've got to have on your team.
And the kind of guy who his teammates love, because they know he's always going to have their back, always going to work hard, and always going to bring it.
And now the second quarter just getting set to start. And looking at what we've seen from the Spurs so far, guys, what do you think?
And boy, I tell you, it didn't take them long to find their rhythm. Strong offense through one.
A nice game plan coming in, and right now sticking to it. It's a nice lead that they have.
On the floor for Oklahoma City, getting going here in the second quarter. They've got McDermott. He's out there with Grant. Felton is out there with Adams. And it's Abrines in at the shooting guard position. And DeJounte Murray gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. And the Spurs making a change here. Gasol's checked in. And Oklahoma City with a change here, too. Patterson's checked in. Abrines kicks to Felton. Can't tie it up as that one's no good.
Well, the defense better look up and say thanks. Leaving guys that wide open is not a recipe for success.
Pass to Bertans. Spurs working the ball around now. Gasol, no good.
I give the defense a C+ on that possession, but still, I'm sure he's upset he missed.
Greg, you watch the Thunder play, and it's clear that this team comes out looking to attack. Everyone on the team wants to put it on the floor and go right at the rim.
And part of that is their leader, Westbrook, just setting the tone. I mean, team finished near the top in points in the paint last season, and the addition of Paul George just helps to enforce that strength.
Yeah, the assist by Parker, just brilliant. Really seeing his teammates out there.
Abrines kicks to Patterson. Parker against Felton. Back to Patterson. Upside Felton. Grant outside. Just 4 to shoot. And that comes off the assist by Raymond Felton. Grant's got his second bucket of the night. Parker outside. The Spurs getting another chance here. Gasol's shot is good.
Yeah, these defenders just look a bit overmatched, especially inside.
And first time out of the game called for Oklahoma City. And this matchup with the Spurs, it's their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, 2 conference rivals. I mean, they'll play each other a total of 4 times this season.
And guys, this first meeting always sort of sets the tone for how the rest of the season series will play out. For teams that know each other this well, this initial game is a big one.
Looking at who's out there now for the Spurs. Marcus Aldridge is checked in for Anderson. Leonard comes in for Bertans. And it's Ginobili in for DeJounte Murray.
They're doing a really good job of getting the ball inside and attacking the paint. That's an area they have completely dominated.
Spurs leading by 6.
He doesn't land at the charity stripe quite as much as he used to, but Ginobili still knows how to bait the defender into making a mistake.
The Spurs shooting their first free throws of the evening. That is good from Ginobili. Hey, Brent, looking at the mental aspect of the game, we usually think about crafty veterans, but who are some of the craftiest young players that you see right now?
That's a good question, Kevin. I might have a few surprise answers for you. How about Tyler Johnson, maybe? Malcolm Brogdon in Milwaukee last year, who showed some things as an older rookie playing 4 years in college at Virginia. Chris Dunn, he's got a bit of trickery to him. And the last guy I'll throw out there is Joe Ingles. Has a little spice to his game when he's got the basketball in Utah.
And Gasol slams it in.
Now, he's not going to impress you with the overall athleticism, but respect the length of Pau Gasol. A powerful finish there.
And the call will be against Tony Parker. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far.
Yeah, looking up at the scoreboard, guys, that's his 3rd foul, and his coach has to consider now sitting him down.
We've got 1:55 left in the first half. Westbrook against Parker. Westbrook kicks to Patterson. That's good, and so Westbrook comes up with the assist. Patterson's got himself going there, his first points of the game on the deep ball. Ginobili right side, 14 feet away. Again, the Spurs good for 2.
Well, years of experience come into play, not only here, but overseas. Ginobili with perfect rhythm on the catch and shoot.
Leonard brings the double team. Leonard with the steal. Here's Parker, and it's sent back by George. And it's sent back by Aldridge.
Maybe he's not the most aggressive defender or the most physical, but Aldridge does have mobility. That time he sends it back.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Thunder trailing by 8. Outside, George.
And Paul George kind of made it known of his desire to leave for LA after this season, but big risk for the Thunder to make that move and trade for him.
And for Paul George, who knows what the future holds for him, but Greg, he is a great fit, it would seem, for the Thunder.
Listen, you give the Thunder another star to pair with Westbrook, and they're taking a leap of faith here with George.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. Rudy Gay's checked in for Gasol. Green comes in for Manu Ginobili. And it's Mills in for Parker. Leonard, missile on the play. Bucket's good. He'll go to the line.
And this is who he has become. Leonard, with the great body control, takes the hit and still able to sink the shot and one.
First trip to the free throw line for him tonight. Laverne, he's checked in for the Spurs.
Kawhi Leonard reminds you of the way that people talked about defensive backs that can lock down great receivers in football. So suffocating, takes elite scorers completely out of positions on the floor where they like to be effective.
Here's Adams, rebounded by the Spurs.
And hard work on the glass. Once again, guys, they put a lot of effort and focus on the backboard.
He gives them a double-digit lead. That's 7 points for Leonard.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Near the three-point line, it's Westbrook, and a big bounce off the rim, but it sinks right in. Westbrook's got 6 points.
And nice to see Westbrook rise up and knock that one down. When he has that solid base, it looks good.
And so it's the San Antonio. Thank you, David. And we'll be back for the third quarter of action following halftime.
The 2K Sports Halftime
Welcome back,
Show.
folks. Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny the Jet Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. A pretty close game for the Spurs throughout the first quarter. The biggest lead they were able to get out to during the first period was 6 points. Checking out the Spurs. And Shaq, what are your thoughts on how San Antonio played?
The area where they impressed me.
And that is just about...
Now the second half about to start. Spurs leading by 9. Aldridge is at the 4 with Gasol at the 5. Manu is at the 2 with Leonard playing the 3. And it's Parker in at the point. That's the San Antonio 5. Here's George, and that one off the back of the rim and in. George has got the first points to start out the third quarter for the Thunder. Parker dishes to Aldridge. That one's not going to go. And it's Oklahoma City the other way. Ginobili with the steal. Outside Leonard. And it's Parker in the corner. Leonard the pass to Aldridge. Ginobili kicks to Gasol. It's rebounded by Oklahoma City. Adams has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Here's George. They get it back. Patterson can't get it to go. The Spurs have gone 0-3 and are still looking for that first bucket here in the second half. Here's Ginobili. Good, and the assist goes to Gasol. Ginobili's got his second bucket. And Brett, when you hear Donovan on the sideline or in the huddle, it's clear how big a motivator he can be for his team. He certainly gets the most out of his players from the stars to the end of the bench.
One thing that Billy Donovan did in the early part of taking the job with the Oklahoma City Thunder, and I remember it well, Kevin. I went to the UCLA campus where Billy Donovan had invited most of the roster for the Oklahoma City team, and he started to establish that trust in the off-season, being there for workouts, understanding the personalities of his team, and getting to know his guys. All of those things have reaped some incredible rewards in the early part of Billy Donovan's coaching career.
And he can do a lot more damage to the rim than that when he wants to.
Oh, you're right. And with the lead they're enjoying, I'm surprised he didn't put a little something extra on that one. A different look now for San Antonio. Kyle Anderson, he's checked in for Gasol. Bertans comes in for Leonard. And Murray's subbed in for Parker. The Thunder also changing it up. Jeremy Grant, he's checked in for Patterson. Alex Abrinas comes in for Andre Robertson. And it's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. Fast break, here we go. Here's Murray. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. Murray's got his first bucket in this one.
Defensively, you cause the miss, but then you have to corral it.
Well, that's the second part of the equation there. Block out, be aggressive, and control the glass.
San Antonio on defense.
Yeah, you see the athleticism George had on that dunk. It's so quick and explosive. Gets to the rim in an instant.
Here is Felton. Still getting warmed up offensively. No buckets yet in the game for him. Here's George. Unable to get that one.
That is some tough defense there against one of the better finishers in our game.
This OKC team is one of the best in the league when it comes to getting themselves to the free throw line, and a lot of that comes with the sheer force of Russell Westbrook, who draws a ton of fouls. But there's a few other crafty players who can get to work on the inside and find their way to the free throw line.
And it's sent back by Aldridge. Here's Anderson, and it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And we'll examine here how the distribution has been between 3-pointers and 2-pointers tonight for the Thunder.
Liking the effectiveness they've shown here from three-point land. And I say, hey, shoot it more. They've been successful with a high field goal percentage, and we'll see if that continues to be a part of their arsenal.
The Thunder, a strong team at getting points off free throws, Brent. It helps having Kanter, who's also good at drawing fouls.
Well, we see how much a team can have success just stealing easy points from the free throw line. So most teams that are near the top in terms of finding free throw attempts per game find their way into postseason play. The Thunder have set that trend. Westbrook's aggressiveness, Kanter on the inside, and Adams playing aggressive around the rim. And his teammates have to step up just a little bit more. He's been lights out. Needs a bit more support.
So San Antonio going with an almost entirely new group here. Laverne, he's checked in for Aldridge. Gay comes in for Anderson. Green, he's checked in for Manu Ginobili. It's Mills in for DeJounte Murray. Here's Laverne. And fouled on the shot, so the bucket counts. And a chance for one more here.
Once Laverne gets positioned down low, it's pretty much game over. Hard to root him out.
We've heard the rumors, Brent, the death of the big man, but with guys like Towns and Porzingis and others entering the league that can play on the perimeter and still have that length to make a difference inside, could we see a big man renaissance, or at least maybe see him have more of an impact than people are giving him credit for right now?
Well, I think what we're seeing is the evolution of the 5 spot, Kevin. So it's not that the big man is lost, it's that the big man's doing a lot of the things that the little man used to be asked to do, and that is shooting threes, handle the ball, make some decisions at the top of the key, be a playmaker. It's fascinating to watch guys with this sort of size and this sort of skill, and also being this young, having such a tremendous impact for the organizations they're playing for.
They get it again, and the shot goes down. Berton's got his second basket of the night.
And with the success they've had rebounding the basketball, they're right where you'd expect them to be, firmly in the driver's seat.
Here's Abrinas, guarded by Green. Adams sets the pick for George. Foul on the play, basket counts, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
And not relying at all on the three-point shot. They may want to rethink about stretching the defense a bit like they did in that first half. Well, when Paul George announced this summer that he intended to leave for the Lakers when the contract ran out, you knew what was coming. Even as a rental possibility, the suitors lined up, and eventually the price was paid, and now George finds himself in a Thunder uniform. And something we always talk about, though, shot selection.
Well, being aggressive is one thing, but aggression with control is another, and you need both elements working together.
And it's Laverne missing. Thunder trailing by 13. To the inside. Grant kicks to Adams. Left side, George. 4 seconds left. Got a hand on it. Laverne. That one, no good. And so it's San Antonio. 13 points up at the end of the period. And their ability to get points in the paint has made all the difference in this one. And we've got more NBA action on 2K Sports coming your way after this break. Now let's hear what head coach Billy Donovan was reviewing with his team in the huddle.
We got to now start to anchor down defense.
And we're getting underway here in the fourth quarter. The scoreboard tells the story in this matchup, but we'll see how much things change up here. So the Thunder 5 right now. Inside, it's Patterson and Adams. Westbrook and Robertson are the backcourt pair, and it's George in at the small forward.
And you can see what the emphasis was at halftime. Here in the second, a lot more effort to get the ball inside, and it's starting to pay dividends.
Parker with him. Westbrook picks him up and Finished off by Gasol.
And Parker really did a phenomenal job feeding that ball to his teammate for the shot there. His playmaking ability is off the charts.
That's tipped. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Thunder will retain possession. Leonard with the steal. Parker dishes to Leonard. Parker against Westbrook. Green kicks to Leonard. Spurs passing it around. And there's Gasol. That's good on the assist by Parker. And 12 points for Pau Gasol.
Always great to see Pau Gasol so involved in the offensive sets, picking his shots carefully and knocking down a ton. And when the D is this non-existent, it's pretty easy for shooters fishing with dynamite.
Parker outside, inside. And it's blocked. Here's Roberson. From deep, George. Here's Patterson. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Yeah, just nice strength there and then just off with the shot.
First free throw is good. Greg, the one thing about Patrick Patterson out of Kentucky, he is a smart basketball player.
Yeah, he's not the best rebounder or shot blocker, but the advanced stats love it. And he gets the job done at both ends of the floor.
Here's what San Antonio's going with right now. LaMarcus Aldridge comes in for Rudy Gay. And it's Ginobili in for Danny Green. Here's Aldridge. Excellent D there from George.
And you got to give him credit there. Great effort to contest that shot.
Well, I love the fact that they put the security system on their house, protecting the paint there.
Parker passes to Aldridge. And Aldridge slams it in.
Well, another poster shot. Aldridge using his size and length to throw that one down hard.
Thunder trailing by 11. Time called here. The Thunder decide to talk it over. Brent, you were known for your leaping ability. You won a dunk contest. We all remember it very vividly. During the pre-draft process, did they measure your max vertical?
They did, Kevin. At the Chicago pre-draft camp, you run through a series of tests there. Your conditioning, how your CO2 gets kicked out. They put this mask on you and check your stamina. There's a bunch of doctors in there poking and prodding. I won't go into detail about that.
Thank you.
But they did measure the max vertical during that Chicago pre-draft, and it was about 39-inch vertical leap, so not too bad.
Not too bad at all. Okay, well, let's check in with David Aldridge, who's reporting from the sidelines.
Well, during the break, I listened in on Billy Donovan's huddle with his team. He said, fellas, I know you're tired, but you can't coast now. You've got to go harder. This game is in sight. We got to power through and get it. Words from a champion. Back to you.
And the call will be against Tony Parker. That will get him his 4th foul of the game. And the call will be against Tony Parker. That's his 5th foul.
And the next one puts him in the bonus.
Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation.
And becoming impatient, that's not how you're going to catch up.
Yeah, that's a painful mistake there. All you can do is just shake that one off and try your best to move on to the next play.
Outside Aldridge. Around 3 minutes gone here in the 4th quarter. Thunder trailing by 11. Passes it to Roberson. To the middle. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. They get Pau Gasol.
Well, you give Russell Westbrook any kind of runway like that and he can explode. What a terror on the inside.
Both good from the line that time. Spurs leading by 9. Parker dishes to Aldridge. Shoots over Patterson. And it's good off the back rim and in. That's 12 points for LaMarcus Aldridge. For Oklahoma City, they've gone 2 for 5 on field goal attempts in the 4th quarter. And George kicks to Westbrook. Over Parker. And again, Oklahoma City, no good. Ginobili the pass to Leonard. Count the basket. And the Spurs lead by 13.
And there's that suddenness. Leonard in traffic, inside, still able to explode up and convert.
Westbrook dishes to Adams. And the rejection by Leonard. And the foul called on Russell Westbrook. That is his first foul of the game.
And you can see he just didn't get squared up with his feet.
1:12 left in the fourth quarter. Gasol kicks to Ginobili.
And so only one team answered the bell tonight, guys. Not a monster blowout by any means, but still a double-digit victory for San Antonio.
Not only did they shoot the ball better, but they had more assists.
Yeah, I thought the passing in terms of finding the open man gave them the higher percentage shots. The ball movement was key for the win.
And so that moves their record to 11 wins on the year.
They can chalk this one up, but these two teams will see plenty more of one another before the season's over.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for LaMarcus Aldridge.
Well, the tone was set by him defensively tonight. Recorded a number of blocks, and that was a big difference maker, intimidating the other team.
So San Antonio goes with a fresh 5 on the floor. And a new group in here for the Thunder. Nick Collison's checked in for Adams. McDermott comes in for Patrick Patterson. Arenas is checked in for George. That's Felton in for Russell Westbrook. Here's Felton. And it falls over the rim and in. And the Spurs with possession here. At one point, they led by 16. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
The Australian-born Patty Mills, former second-round pick. Who knew Mills would someday win an NBA championship? Well, the Spurs did.
Free throw good, Mills. So he makes 1 of 2 as the second one misses. Outside, Felton. From 17 feet out. That shot, no good. Great D that time from Green. Grant the pass to Collison, and he drops in the layup off the glass.
Yeah, the D has not been able to keep the ball out of the paint at that end of the floor.
And he lays it straight in.
Running up the score, showing no mercy.
Well, you want to close the door on any type of comeback effort. This has been a vault. Ka-ching.
You're right. And so it's San Antonio easily taking this one. A confident win and one where they clearly showed the greater effort.
Yeah, I mean, it was a solid performance, particularly here at home. And I think they built off that edge.
Thank you, David. Great interview once again. And that about wraps it up. So for David Aldridge, Greg Anthony, Brent Barry, and the whole 2K.